Hey everybody, happy Monday. Sorry I'm a little bit delayed in getting this video to you today. We had a very busy weekend, just on the road, going out of town. And so we are home. Hello. Hello. Hi. To the mall this morning. The kids got balloons. They're eating lunch. Amelie, can you say hello? Hello. Mommy is having some leftover shrimp curry for lunch. It's Mother's Day week. Gosh, when I posted that video last week, I thought Mother's Day was 2 weeks out. In reality, it was like 10 days out. So sorry about that. But thank you guys to those of you that responded on my Instagram last night. I wasn't sure what to post. I just kind of sometimes have like a list of like a million things to post, and then sometimes I'm feeling like I don't know what to post. So several people have actually asked in the past, and several of you messaged me about sharing my kids' birth stories and different pregnancies with all three of them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit them down for a nap, and then we are going to talk about how my pregnancies, labor, birth stories went with all three of my kids. Thankfully, they are all very different, so I have quite a lot of different things to share and experiences. So anyways, let me put them down for a nap, and then I will be back with you on that in a second. Make these brief and to the point. If you have questions, I'll try to answer them below. I don't know how interested the majority of you are in this, but are about birth stories and pregnancies and whatnot. But since a good number of people have asked, so I thought I would finally sit down and just share with you, and I'm going to try to make this as to the point as possible. Side note, I'm sharing this because it's Mother's Day week, and what better of an opportunity than this week to focus on motherhood, my personal journey, and I'm going to also be doing mom style this week, different fashion ideas that I have, where I buy my clothes, etc. And then I'm going to wrap up the week with another focus on motherhood. So my firstborn, Beckham, oh my gosh, look at this sweet face. He's 5. He's going to kindergarten in a few months, and I have had so many tears lately over it. Oh my goodness. So Beckham, I had a really great pregnancy with him. He was probably my most sickest pregnancy. I mean, I was pretty sick through my first trimester. When I got pregnant, I wasn't 100% sure the type of labor and stuff I wanted to have. I kind of had thought about doing it natural, but I was kind of open whatever way. But it was Travis who was like, I really want you to do it natural. I really think you can. Let's look into this. Looked into it, and we took the Bradley Method classes. If you go to the Bradley Method website, you can find classes all over the country, in your local area most likely. But I believe it was a 12-week class. We went like every Tuesday night for a couple hours for I think 12 weeks, which is a lot longer than a lot of like other ones like hypnobirthing and whatnot. But it provided us all the tools and resources to be just prepared mentally for natural birth. With him, I went into labor 3 days late, which I thought I was dying. I literally was so desperate on my 3rd day. So I got up, Travis had left for work. I was almost just in tears. I was so depressed. You know, like any day past due is just bad. 3 days, okay, not that bad, but for your first, you thought maybe he'd come early. He wasn't. So I call the acupressure place. I'm like, great, I can be there in 10 minutes. Hang up the phone, and no joke, I had like a water bottle size amount of water like broke all over my bathroom floor, which was like the perfect place to break. So I called Travis all excited, nervous. Well, it turns out my labor didn't really kick in until 7 o'clock that night. So I walked all day, nothing was happening. And because I wanted to do it natural, because I had all my Bradley Method training, I was told, you know, if you're still feeling your baby move and stuff, there's no meconium in the water, you should be fine. Like, you don't need to get to the hospital the second your water breaks, whereas most traditional modern medicine says you should. So anyways, I didn't go, and I'm not a nurse, I'm not in medical field, so don't take my word for this, but this is just what we personally felt comfortable with. So we even went to Bible study that night, and during study around like 8, I started feeling kind of contractions starting to come on. By the time study was over at 9, I'm like, okay, we got to get out of here. So we go home, I start laboring at home, and when I went home, this is kind of a lot of information, but I had a lot of meconium come out. I'd kind of been slowly leaking all day, but felt Beckham, he was fine. But I had meconium come out when I went to the bathroom, and I was like, oh, that just doesn't really sit well with me. So fast forward to midnight, Travis is like, you know, I think we should just go to the hospital. It wasn't what I originally wanted to do. I wanted to try to go like labor the full time at home. So we get to the hospital, I think they check me, and I'm probably like a 3, and it's like, Okay, so I get to the hospital around 12:30 a.m. The nurses weren't happy. I delivered Beckham I delivered all 3 babies at 3 different hospitals. Different reasons why, but I had a great experience at my first hospital. I labored all night, all morning long, and he wasn't born until 12:30, 12:45, I think, in the afternoon. So he was 8 pounds, 5 ounces, like a big, just healthy baby boy. And the second they put him on my chest, all that pain and all that hard work really left. And I was so happy to be able to do a natural birth. It is the most exhilarating, horrendous, but empowering, just incredible experience. And I knew after I did that I would never go back, even though I didn't even want to think about having another baby. Having natural birth is by far just one of my favorite experiences of my entire life. And I know that sounds weird, and a lot of people are like, well, why not just get that? But I mean, I can't explain it. If you do it natural, you get, like, it is just so, there's just something so beautiful about it. It's just kind of how God intended our bodies to be able to do it. And I have nothing wrong or anything against epidurals. I do try to just focus my life more on more natural things. But I mean, the second Beckham was out, I was popping Motrin and all of that to help with my pain. So anyways, you do what's best for you. This is just my personal journey. Next, we're going to talk about Amelie. So Amelie. So when he was about 18, 19 months, we decided to start trying for our second. It took us a few months to get pregnant with Amelie. We found out we were having a girl, which was just a really beautiful moment for me. I just prayed for a girl. I really wanted girls. So Amelie was born in August. She went 10 days late. I was like not expecting it. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. It was the dead heat of August. She was born August 29th. 10 days late. I mean, I was doing everything I could to get this baby out. Everything. Sure enough, I woke up in the middle of the night. I thought I kind of had felt my water leaking a little bit. Definitely was filling up a pad, so we decided to go into the hospital. I called my sister to come down and watch Beckham. This is like around 4 a.m. We get to the hospital about 5, and she was born 2 hours later. I had the most crazy, intense labor with her. I mean, it was so crazy, but I would have much rather taken those 2 really hard hours than like 13 hours of really hard labor with Beckham, right? So what's cool is I delivered Amelie at a hospital where they have a birthing center floor. So it's not a birthing center, but it's a floor where it's attached to the hospital. And I saw midwives my entire pregnancy. And I felt like I wanted to do that type of experience because with Beckham, I was so mentally strong from having taken my Bradley classes. But with Amelie, I was a little nervous because I knew the pain that I was going to go through. So I just wanted the extra support because we weren't going to take classes again. So I chose that hospital. It's actually UCSD here in San Diego. They have a great program where you meet with midwives. They have birth center floor, and their new hospital is, I hear, like a 5-star resort. So that's pretty awesome. I wanted to do that because they have birthing tubs inside the rooms. So when I finally made it up to my room after they were checking me, I mean, the pain was so intense, I was throwing up. It was crazy, but I didn't realize that I was going from like 0 to 100 within an hour, really. That explains why my pain with her was so intense. So when I finally climbed into that tub, it felt so warm, so awesome. Travis was in there with me, and I just like literally had one contraction in the bathtub, and then I was like, I think I need a push. And they're like, wait, what? You were just like a 6, like 20 minutes ago. I'm like, I'm pushing. Like, call the doctor, you know, whatever, now. So they checked me, like, okay, yes, you are. You're ready to push. So so sad I didn't get to experience the labor part in the tub like I was hoping to, but the few minutes I was in there, it really was awesome. And I can see why women love that route. Standing up, holding on to Travis, squatting. He's like on his knees and I'm like kind of squatting, holding him. I'm pushing her out. I mean, talk about ring of fire. Pushed out a 9-pound, 1-ounce baby girl. I mean, she was huge, so just pink and big and 10 days late. And Travis and I pulled her up and grabbed her and like sat back down in the tub, and Travis just explains it hilariously. He's like, there were things floating everywhere. It was like kelp touching my leg. I mean, he was like, okay, this is sweet. Can I get out and take a shower? I think I'm gonna throw up. So anyways, that was kind of a hilarious labor story with her. But beautiful experience. One of my favorites because of how quick it went, and the water birth part was really, really awesome. Lastly is Florence. Look at that picture. Look at Florence and Beckham. Oh my goodness. And Florence was our surprise baby. I've posted videos before about how she came to us and I will link to them below if you didn't get a chance to watch. When Amelie was 6 months old, I found out, surprise, you're pregnant with your third. And to be honest, I had quite a meltdown, panic, freak out moment, if you will. But after kind of a scary turn of events, within a week, we thought I was having ectopic pregnancy. And I'm not going to get into that because I've shared that before. I will link to that video or two below that I've talked about that experience. But my world went from devastation, just, I have a 6-month-old baby. What do you mean I'm pregnant? They're going to be 14 months apart. To, I'm just so grateful for this baby. And I mean, I always have had that stance, but you have to admit, when you have a 6-month-old, I just started sleeping through the night. I just started kind of losing weight and feeling like myself again, and then bam. So that's how that pregnancy went. It was a little rocky. Then around 32 weeks, I was actually diagnosed with gestational diabetes. I've considered myself a pretty healthy eater, pretty active, but they say that the older you get, and the more pregnancies that you do have a higher risk of having gestational diabetes. So that was a huge learning curve for me. Again, not a big deal. A lot of women get it, but if you've had it, you know, like, it's a huge learning curve. You've got to be on your food game. You're recording it. You're seeing a nutritionist. You are having, at the end, like 2 to 3 times a week going in and having your baby monitored. You've got the blood tests that you're pricking, taking your blood sugars, like 3-5 times a day. I mean, it's a lot. So it was a lot to do with having 2 little kids, not to mention like a 1-year-old, 12-month-old, just a lot. Because I really wanted to, again, do another natural birth, but they're like, and I was kind of looking forward to it because I'm like, well, if Amelie went so fast, then my third will probably go fast. And yeah, it's horrible and rough, but like fast is awesome, you know, way better than, again, going back to Beckham's long labor. Well, when you have diabetes, they get all nervous that you're going to have this huge baby. So where I went to a 3rd different practice this time. I wanted to go where I have a really good friend, Jen, a labor and delivery nurse there. So we went to a different hospital, which was beautiful and awesome. And I got to have Jen there with me, which was so reassuring because I did have to be induced. So I did have a little bit of Pitocin. So we started that off slowly, but it was, at the end of the day, kind of nice to like have my parents come down, know when I'm going to have my baby, be fully packed. Like, it was just a different, totally different experience. I think there's a lot of pros to knowing the day or scheduling a C-section or something to go into. But I didn't like the actual labor part. I was really scared of the Pitocin, but at the end of the day, it just didn't end up being too bad. We finally, once my body kind of kicked into gear, Jen took me off the Pitocin. But it was like a long day. Like, we checked in at 7 a.m. and she wasn't born until I think like around 8:30 that night. So, but I was, again, able to do it. Able to do it natural, and the most exhilarating just part of life. So I really highly encourage, if you're considering it or thinking about it, I really encourage you to look into taking classes. It's such a mental game. I think anyone is capable of it. You just need to know ways to relax, allow your brain to just rest, and let your body just do the work. It's really amazing. And Bradley Method classes are cool because they're husband-based child coaching, so you don't necessarily need to hire a doula, and your husband just learns alongside of you ways to like push on your back and help you just relax, and they know mentally what you're going through as much as possible so that they can help you and they can be on your team. So those are my 3 pregnancy, 3 labor stories. Each one of them, again, are so different, but very special. So that is it. I hope that was interesting to you. For those of you that wanted this video, I hope that answers a lot of your questions. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to try to answer them. Just leave a comment below. But yes, I'm very pro natural birth. If you're thinking about it, you can totally do it. And if you did an epidural before and want to try it, my sister's done that, and she says she probably won't ever go back either to epidural because it was just so empowering. So anyways, have a great rest of your Monday, and we will see you later this week with some more mom-focused videos. All right, bye guys.